The Adventures of Aeneas. Aeneas was one among the famous heroes in Trojan War, and he was actually the son of Venus, or also called as Aphrodite. Aeneas has his adventure from Troy to Italy. With Venus' help, Aeneas was able to escape from Troy with his father and little son to sail away to a new home. Aeneas was often regarded as the real founder of Rome because Romulus and Remus, the actual founders, were born in the city his son built in Alba Longa. When Aeneas set sail from Troy, many Trojans had joined him. Aeneas was told in a dream that the new home destined for them was the country far away to the west that was called Hesperia and was currently Italy. Aeneas' company encountered the Harpies just as Jason and his men had done. However, the Trojans were not as bold as the Greeks to kill these horrifying creatures, so they were forced to the sea to escape Harpies. And to their surprise, at the next landing stop, they met Hector's wife, Andromache. When Troy fell, she had been given to Paris, Achilles' son. However, Paris abandoned Andromache and married Hermione, Helen's daughter. Andromache then married a Trojan prophet, Helenus. They were now ruling the place, and when Aeneas came, they welcomed him and his men. When they left, Helenus provided them useful advice for their journey to avoid some dangers. However, there's still something not warned by Helenus. He did not know that the southern part of Sicily was occupied by Cyclops. Aeneas and his men met Polyphemus, but fortunately, they escaped the risk, for one of Ulysses' sailors told them to flee immediately. While sailing around Sicily, Aeneas and his men were struck by a strong storm brought by Juno, or usually called as Hera. Juno hated Trojans for she could never forget the judgment of Paris. She even bore special hatred towards Aeneas for she knew that, by fate, Aeneas would conquer her pet city, Carthage. When Neptune calmed the sea, Aeneas and his men landed the north coast of Africa. The place they came ashore was quite near to Carthage. Juno at this time came up with a brilliant idea. Juno planned to let Aeneas and Dido, the beautiful ruler of Carthage, be in love with each other. For love, Aeneas might forget their new home in Italy. Venus, the mother of Aeneas, learned and decided to let Dido fall deep in love with Aeneas so he could not get hurt in Carthage. She didn't, however, let Aeneas love her too much in return, so he would never forget his mission sailing to Italy. Aeneas lived with Dido happily for quite a long period of time, until one day Jupiter sent Mercury to Carthage and told him to continue his destiny and mission. On the second part of Aeneas' adventure, it is the descent into the lower world. Aeneas followed Helena's words to find the Sibyl of Cumae, a woman of wisdom. She told Aeneas that she would lead him to the underworld where she would learn all he needed to know from his father Anchises. To get the Anchises, Aeneas went to seek a golden bow growing on a tree. Only with this in his hand could he enter the underworld. Into the wilderness of the trees, Aeneas found it with his ever-faithful friend Anchises. Then, together, prophets and heroes started their journey. Seeing the golden bow in Aeneas' hand, Charon, the ferryman in the underworld, yelled to take them. When they encountered Cerberus, the dog, they pacified it with cakes as Psyche did. There in the underworld, Aeneas saw many ghosts, including Minos, Europassan, and even Didos. At last, they reached a spot where the road divided. The road to the left was full of horrid sounds and groans, while the other one, to the right, led to Elysian field, where Aeneas would find his father. There, Anchises was found and gave Aeneas instructions on how to establish home in Italy and how they could evade and endure all the follow-up hardships. On the next day, the Trojans sailed up the coast of Italy looking for their promised land. On the next part of their adventure was happened to be the war in Italy. The aged Latinus, a great-grandson of Saturn, had been warned by the spirits of his father Faunus not to marry his daughter Lavinia to any man in the country, but a stranger who was soon to arrive. From the union, a race destined to hold the entire world was born. Hence, when Aeneas arrived, Latinus received them with hospitality. He believed that Aeneas was the one his daughter had to marry. And then, Judas stepped in. Alecto first inflamed Queen Amato's heart to oppose the marriage between her daughter and Aeneas. Next, Alecto informed the king of Rutulians, one of suitors of Lavinia, of the union of Lavinia and Aeneas. This drove Turnus to frenzy. He immediately started his army to march to Latia. Alecto guided Aeneas' young son, Ascanius, to kill a stag cared and tended by a farmer's daughter. The farmers got curious and would like to kill Ascanius. Now, Latins and Rutulians together were opposed to the little band of Trojans. In this perilous moment, Father Tiber, the god of the great river, Aeneas and his friend encamped near. They visited Aeneas in a dream, telling him to go upstream to Evander. There, Aeneas would get the support he needed. The old king and Evander further suggested Aeneas to ask for help from the Etruscans, for Evander was too small to help the Trojans. Etruscans, on the other hand, will be willing to help Aeneas, for they hated their former ruthless king Mezentius. Wherein now, Mezentius was helping Turnus. The rest of the Trojans' adventure were all in the battlefield. Aeneas came back with a large army of Etruscans in time to save his men. Later, he led the army to succeed in winning the victory of the war. Virgil's poem ends with Turnus' death. Aeneas, as we learned, married Lavinia and founded the Roman race. And that was the adventure of Aeneas and the wars in Italy.
The Aeneid is an epic poem written by
My assigned video lesson was all about the adventures of Aeneas and the wars in Italy, and there I learned to know about the real nature of Aeneas and how his adventures go through from Troy to Italy with lots of challenges. There I learned that Aeneas is a mythical hero of Troy and Rome and a son of goddess Aphrodite and Anchises. He played a prominent part in defending his city against the Greeks during the Trojan War. I already watched the movie of Trojan War and I can say that surviving that war is such a very hard thing, and it was a great honor for him that he managed to escape there and keep alive until he succeeded his mission to Italy. It made Aeneas the leader of the Trojan survivors after Troy was taken by the Greeks. This adventure of Aeneas involves acts of heroism, divine intervention, and ultimately victory. This offers insight into the culture of Roman Greece and the time of their writings. Additionally, both works stem from the same event, the Trojan War, but follow different characters staffing in different aspects of the idealized hero in Roman and Greek culture.